Hi everyone, this is Ishani Sarkar. So today we are going to start learning Python. Actually, I am also a student and I'm also learning. I just wanted to share with you my notes and the details that I have understood, which maybe will be useful for you as well. So let's get started. Before we start learning about Python, we need to understand and know some details about Python. So, Python is a popular programming language. It was created by Guido van Rossum and released in 1991. It is mainly used for web development, software development, mathematics, system scripting. What can we do using Python? So, Python can be used on a server to create web applications. Python can be used alongside software to create workflows. Python can connect to database system. It can also read and modify files. Python can be used to handle big data and platform and perform complex mathematics. Python can be used for rapid prototyping or for production ready software development as well. Why Python? Python works on different platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux, and so on. Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. Python runs on an interpreter system, meaning that code can be executed as soon as it is written. This means that prototyping can be very quick. Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object oriented way, or functional way. Python syntax compared to other programming language. Python was designed for readability and has some similarities to the English language with influence from mathematics. Python uses new lines to complete a command, as opposed to other programming languages which often use semicolons or parentheses. Python relies on indentation using white space or defined scope, such as the scope of loops, functions, and classes. Other programming languages often use curly brackets for this purpose. So, I'm mainly going to work on Anaconda in Jupyter Notebook to write my codes or to learn how to do coding with Python. And or else you can also use Google Research Colab. That is an online notebook. You can use that to run your code as well. So first we are going to learn different data types of Python, like string, integer, float, complex, list, tuples, range. So here I have added the details like what are the comments and what is the data type. For example, strings is text type. For numeric types, we usually use integer, float, or complex. Sequence types are list, tuple, range. Mapping type will be dictionary. Set types will be set or frozen set. Boolean type will be bool. Binary types will be bytes, byte array, memory view. None type will be none type. Here are some examples of data types. For example, the first one, as you see, this is hello world, and we are using quotation, that is string. This is integer, we are using full numbers. This is float, we are using decimal numbers like 20.5. This is complex, we are using j, a number plus j. This is list, we are using third bracket. With this we are using strings and separating those strings using commas. This is tuple, Tubular, we are using parentheses, and inside that we are using strings and separating them using commas. This is range. Range, in parentheses we are using a number 6. This is dictionary. In a curly bracket we are using strings, semicolon, again string, and we are separating it with another data. This is set. In a curly bracket we are using strings and separating them with commas. This is a frozen set. In frozen set we are using the command frozen set. We are using parentheses. In that parentheses we are using curly brackets, strings, and separating them with the commas. The boolean is true or false. This will come. Bytes are B strings, and between the strings we are typing hello. This is byte array. We are using the command byte array, and within the parentheses we are using a number. This is memory view. Memory view also we are using as a command under then a parenthesis, then we are typing bytes, then again a parenthesis and 5, and the none type is x is equal to none. This is another examples. You can just take a screenshot and you can go through later on with these examples. Now we are coming into numbers, Python numbers. There are mainly 3 types of numeric Python numbers. First is integer, for example, plain solid numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The second is float or floating point numbers, that is x is equal to 2.6, kind of decimal numbers that we use. And the complex number. The complex number is x is equal to 3j. We are using 3j. We'll get to know more details about all these numbers. Now let's start with integer or int. This is a whole number, positive or negative, without decimals or decimals of unlimited length. It can goes up to thousands or lakhs or crores. So for example, x is equal to 1, that is an integer. Y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 6, 8, 2. That is a made up number obviously. That is also an integer. Z is equal to minus 3627293. So let's give you an example. We can do it in practically. So this is a Jupyter notebook. I'm just going to create a new notebook here, and I'm going to give it a name. Let's go Python. _1. Okay. So for example, we can do multiplication, division, we can use minus, and we can also use plus. For example, x is equal to 1 plus 2. If we run, x is 3, or 5 minus 10. If we run, then minus 5. Or if we do like 20 divided by 2, that is 10.0. So if we do 4 divided by 2, it is 2.0. So we are just going to type x is equal to 10 minus 20. So that should come minus 10. So if I wanted to check the type, what type of command it is, or the data type mainly. Then we will use the command data type, we'll add the parenthesis and we'll just run. As you can see, this is an integer, right? So for example, if I give this y is equal to, so I'm running y is 10.0. I wanted to check what is the type of y. It will come as float. Now we'll check what is floating number. Float or floating point number is a number, positive or negative, containing one or more decimals. For example, x is equal to 1.10, y is equal to 2.0, z is equal to minus 50.50. Float can also be scientific number with an e to indicate the power of 10. For example, x is equal to 35e3. Y is equal to 12 caps E4. Z is equal to minus 87.7 E100. As you can see here, 10.0, this is a floating number. Only 10 is integer. Now, if I do like x is equal to 10 10.3 E4, type parenthesis x, sorry, there must be some mistake I have done. This is equal to 10 E, sorry, 12 E5. Type caps x. So this is also a floating number with e what we add. So the complex numbers are written with a j as the imaginary part. For example, x is equal to 3 plus 5j, y is equal to 5j, z is equal to minus 5j. For example, x is equal to 5.4j. Let's see the type here. It's a complex one. If we check, y is equal to minus 53j. So type y is complex number. Next, we are coming to variable assignment. This is a symbolic name that is a reference or pointer to an object. Once an object is assigned to a variable, you can refer to the object by that name. But there are some rules that we have to follow while assigning a variable. A variable name must start with letter or the underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a number. A variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters or underscores. A variable names are case sensitive, like age, like small letter age, capital letter age, and entire caps form of age are three different variables, which is true. For example, I am typing x is equal to 10. Okay, so if I am typing, this is a variable, x is a variable. If I am running x, that is the contain or the value or the data that is containing is 10. So if I am using a is equal to maybe 50 divided by 10, so it will contain the result. A is 5.0. Now, if I run caps A, you can see there is an error and it is showing name A is not defined. So this variable small letter a and capital letter A both are different. So if I assign it something, for example, capital A is equal to 30. Now let me run capital A. Capital A is 30, small a is 5.0. Okay. So this is the variable. Now creating variables. Python has no command for declaring a variable. A variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it. A variable does not do not need to be declared with any particular type and can even change type after they have been set. For example, as you can see here, I have assigned the data of x variable is 3, but later on I have changed the variable value. The data type I have changed many times, multiple times. So still now, as of now, we have just started to learn about variables. We have learned about different types of numbers of Python, which is integers, float or floating point, and the complex. And in our next chapter, we will start with the strings and will know more about variables and the details of strings. So if you like this video, if you had gathered some knowledge from this, then it will be really helpful if you share this video with your friends or family or anyone who is actually looking to learn Python. And if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe and share the video. That will means a lot to me. Thank you so much.